Hey, Will here from PPC Coach. So in this video, I'm going to do something totally different. I get the question all the time, like, why did you quit being a financial advisor way back in the day? So I think looking at my screen, you can see why. I'm going to explain this part and also the other part, which is I was kind of not forced into my job as a financial advisor, but right out of university, I had a business degree. And then I applied to a company called Edward Jones Investments. I worked there and I was awful. I sucked at my job. Not because I couldn't prospect and I couldn't bring in new accounts. It was mainly because when people gave me money, I would pretty much immediately lose it right away, just by following the advice of head office. So the company that I worked for, their kind of motto was buy and hold, like buy forever, never sell. And they would really pound that into the advisors' heads to say, like, whenever a client buys, don't let them sell. Like, just buy and hold forever. And that's their kind of motto. And yes, it does work over long term. If you buy and hold, it'll work. But short term, when you're just out of university, trying to start up your own little office as a financial advisor, you don't have any gray hair at all. You don't have any backup really. You're on your own. It's very tough. So what I would do is I would listen to head office and I would put people into stocks and even bonds and mutual funds and all that good stuff. And typically they'd hand me like $10,000 and I would turn it into like $5,000 in a heartbeat. So it took me a good 18, 20 years before I actually went out and started buying stocks with my own money again. And you can see, looking at the screen here, I started out with basically 35,000. I have some in cash, and I've turned that into 24,000. So I'm down $10,000 in a short period of time, down 29%. So this is why I quit being a financial advisor, because basically it is very hard to make money short term with this. Now, I'm not a day trader, and I do plan on just holding this stuff because this is like some money that I got that I finally decided to invest. But my best one is Berkshire Hathaway. Now, don't take this as financial advice. In fact, whatever I say financially on the investment side, you should be doing the opposite, because I have a proven track record of being wrong. And I got to the point where I couldn't even sleep at night anymore because I knew that my clients were losing money, and I felt so bad for them because I was just listening to what all the analysts told us, and I was listening to what head office told us, and they're wrong. Like, they're just wrong. If you want to make money in the stock market, you better find somebody who's really, really, really good at it and just pay them to manage your funds, because trying to do this stuff on your own, you're guessing. That's what the stock market is. It's guessing. They say it's educated guessing, but it is just straight up guessing. So me being down almost 30% now, I might as well show you how I screwed up. So I put money into Berkshire Hathaway. I'm actually up on this about 15.94%. That's awesome. That's now the biggest part of my portfolio, mainly because the rest are all losing. So Invita Corp, bought them, and I am down 14%. Now NVIDIA, whatever they're called, I actually have that graphics card in my computer right now, and I really like it. So I figured I'm going to be like a mini Warren Buffett here, and I'm going to try and buy stuff that I know and stuff that I like. So I thought, I'm an online guy. I know all this online stuff, so I'm going to buy NVIDIA, whatever you call them. And sure enough, they're down. PayPal was another one. I use PayPal a lot. I've actually put a lot of money through PayPal as a customer, and I figured, PayPal's a great company because they make a ton of money. They charge me fees on fees on fees. They charge me an exchange fee, an exchange rate to convert from US to Canadian, that is just ridiculous. And then they tack on another charge just for the hell of it. I know that I've made them a fortune in fees just through my own processing over the years. So I figured, well, I know them well. I kind of everybody's got a love-hate with PayPal, but so I dumped some money in there, put about $7,000 into PayPal, and now it's worth $2,100. So I'm down 69% on PayPal. I have to laugh because that's horrible, just horrible. I didn't buy this very long ago. It's just complete garbage. Royal Bank is another one that I bought. Now they're only down 1.48%, so that's not bad. Usually Berkshire Hathaway and Royal Bank are my two steadiest ones, but even Royal Bank's down right now, and if you look at the calendar, it's April 26, 2022, so that kind of explains why. Where the market's down quite a bit, and especially the online sector, the e-commerce sector, which is PayPal and Of course, Shopify. So Shopify shares, I could only buy 4 of them for like $7,700 back then. Now the shares are worth $559, which is a joke. So I'm down almost 71%. Pretty much lost almost all my money on Shopify that I put into it. So you can see originally I split things up pretty evenly, but Shopify was my biggest investment because I figured I know this company, I know how they do. But let's look at this. You can see the charts too. So the 1 day, let's go with the 1 year. Look at Shopify. I bought right around here, I think. And it just has plummeted and plummeted and plummeted. I don't even know what's going on with them, to be honest. I think once the fourth quarter comes back, like September, October, November, they'll be back up. But that's only because that's when a lot of their stores actually start selling quite a bit. So yeah, of course it's a buy now because the friggin' thing's down 70%. So if I were smart, well, if I had more money to dump into it, I would probably buy now, because if I thought it was good at like whatever it was, $1,900 a share, then I should think it's really good at like 554 a share, right? Anyway, that sucks. PayPal also sucks. I think I bought back here somewhere around the high point. Probably the high point. So what I'm thinking now is I should start a financial channel on YouTube, and I should have my picks, right, that I pick, and then I'll put the disclaimer up that says, you know, whatever I pick, do the opposite. So if I say buy PayPal, short it. And shorting, just for anybody who doesn't know, it just means instead of buying the stock, you're selling the stock that you don't own, and you're going to buy it back later. And the difference between what you sold it at and what you bought it for is your profit. So as an example, that I kind of just gave this to my kids the other day, if I think PayPal is going down, had I known they are going to plummet like they did, I would have shorted it. And you need a margin account with a brokerage firm to do it. But as a just easy example, if I think if PayPal's at $10 and I think it's going to $5, like dropping, like losing value, I could sell shares of PayPal at $10. Now I don't own them, so whose shares am I selling? Well, the brokerage firm that I'm using will lend me shares to sell. So on their books, it shows that I owe the brokerage firm, like, let's just use an example of 1 share. So 1 share at $10, I owe the brokerage firm 1 share of PayPal, and I have to pay them back at some point in the future. Okay, so when PayPal drops, now I can buy it back, and that buyback will buy back the share that I owe the brokerage firm. So if I sold their share at $10, like I borrowed it and kind of sold it. So I sold it at 10. That means $10 goes into my investment account. Now, when I buy it back at 5. That means $5 is basically taken out of my investment account. So what's left is the difference between 10 minus 5 is $5. So that would mean that I profited $5 because I shorted PayPal, right? So it's kind of hard to wrap your head around because you're selling something that you don't own, but that's what shorting is. It's selling something that you don't own. There's also options that you could do, which are a whole different ball game. So you could buy a put or a call option on these stocks too. You can attach all different variations to them. You can have different lengths of contracts. You could just trade options instead of trading the actual shares themselves. That is a whole different world. I'm not anymore, but I was licensed fully in Canada, and I was licensed fully in the US for everything. So I have like my Series 7 and whatever the hell the stock and the option one is in both countries. I've got that too. So I have all this useless knowledge in my head that means nothing, because as you can see on the screen, I can still lose money. So even a guy who used to be a financial advisor still loses money in the market, because the market doesn't care what your experience is. The market doesn't care who you are. The market doesn't care about anything. The market moves based on people's opinions, and that's the whole thing. That's if a stock goes up, it's because more people are buying it than selling it. So there's the price will go up because there's a higher demand for it. If the stock goes down, it means more people are selling than purchasing it. And it went down because people thought, well, either they're taking a profit and locking it in, or the company's not performing as it should be. So the whole stock market is driven based on people's opinions. That's it. So if you want to get into technical analysis and look at all that stuff, that's great. You can try to turn opinions into graphs, but I don't know how effective that is. I mean, you can be a day trader where you buy at $1 and you sell at $1.25, and you do that all day long, like a million times, and make a lot of money that way. You could certainly do that too, and there's probably software that does that. But is it the best way to do it? I don't know. This whole thing on my screen right now is just super risky. It's super risky stuff. This is just one of my accounts, but my other accounts are actually in like mutual funds, because I don't want to put them into individual stocks, and I actually regret buying these individual stocks when I did, because I'm down. I'm down big time. I don't even know what this tab is. But anyway, my holdings are crap. My account is crap. And so what do you do? I mean, the options now, I could sell all these and put them into something better. Maybe sell them all and put them back into here. That would mean that I'm accepting the loss, and I'm making it real. So right now the loss is just on paper, as they say. The market drops, the market goes up, the market drops, the market goes up. That's what happens. It happens in huge cycles. If you time it right, you can make a lot of money. If you time it wrong, you can lose a lot of money. And how do you time it? Well, nobody really knows. I mean, there's experts that are paid to do that, but are they really experts, or are they just really good at guessing? I don't know. That whole world is just to me, it's like going to the casino. Actually, I get more enjoyment out of going to the casino than I do from investing in these stocks. So if I'm so horrible at that, what did I do? Well, I started doing online. I started working online quite a bit, and I started selling secured loan leads to banks in the United Kingdom for a profit. So I would run ads to get leads, and I would sell that lead to a bank or a loan company. And then that market crashed. So then I'm like, what the hell do I do now? Then I got into affiliate marketing, did that for a few years. And then I was teaching people how to do affiliate marketing. And now where I've wound up is actually in the print on demand world. So now I'm selling products, physical products that people actually get. So like a hoodie, t-shirt, coffee mug, necklace, message card, whatever, actually get that. So I used to be running ads to sell those. Now I've transitioned even further away from, I still do ads, but I use them to scale now instead of test. So that's my business now, and I've got 2 programs. Just real quick, I'll show them to you. This is my group coaching program, where you get the next one coming up is Father's Day. This is one where it's like 3 live training sessions where I'm teaching people how to do this. And then recently I just completed this too, the print on demand school. So this is a full course that I've got available as well, 71 videos, a ton of information. This will get people going too. So I've got those 2 running, and I also offer them one-on-one. But anyway, if you're interested in either of these 2 things, that's fine. Just let me know. Send me an email, ppccoach@gmail.com. However, if you're interested in me running your investment portfolio, I would suggest you do not do that, because I'm awful at it and I will lose you money pretty much guaranteed. So lastly, just before I close out this video, I just wanted to make a comment too. I got a lot of people asking me about NFTs and all that stuff. There are a lot of guys who are in the e-commerce space that have now shifted to, crypto and NFTs and all that fun stuff. I don't know enough about it to be educated enough on it. I know from an ex-financial advisor's point of view, it looks to me one way, and I think it's a lot of hype and a lot of pump and dump and a lot of rah, 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 and then it's worth nothing. But the guys who are deep into it are telling me I'm wrong. So I don't know, time will tell. But people are saying NFTs are the future, and you're going to need these to get into events. And, instead of a ticket, you have an NFT. And it's like, well, why don't you just have the freaking ticket? Like, what's the difference? Well, you own the rights to the NFT. Okay. So if somebody steals my NFT, am I going to sue them? If somebody in Vietnam steals my NFT, am I going to get a lawyer to go after them? No. I'll never find them. And I won't be able to prosecute them. And the cost to prosecute them would be worth more than my rights to this image file that I have. So I don't get it enough to know. I just know what I'm seeing. And I'm seeing a lot of Discord servers and things like that where there's a group of people that will just pump and pump and pump and pump to drive up the price of something. Then they'll launch it and a bunch of people will buy it. And then what happens? Like, look at that guy from Twitter. The Twitter tweet, whatever it was. This guy. Oh, no, that's not it. That's Elon Musk. Twitter tweet. First one. Oh, here it is. This guy. So, I mean, this is one kind of bad example for NFTs, or is it a good example? I don't know. Jack Dorsey sells his first tweet ever as an NFT for over 2.9 million. Then, the guy later tried to sell it for even more, and it was worth like nothing. So, if somebody bought this for 2.9 million, they bought a tweet from Jack Dorsey. I think it was this one. I don't know what it was. But then, like, recently somebody tried to sell this tweet, or whatever the NFT is, the rights to the image file, if that's what an NFT is. I don't know, maybe there's more to it. And they couldn't. It wasn't worth anything. So it was a lot of hype, and then when somebody tried to cash out or make some money on it, they didn't make a thing. So be careful. That's my only thing, whether it's stocks, bonds, mutual funds, NFTs, crypto, be careful. The difference between like the stock market and this NFT stuff is all of this crypto stuff is not regulated at all. That means any safeguards they don't exist. So you could get taken for a wild ride if you're not careful. So just my overall advice as an old man now is be careful. Be very careful. Don't believe everything that you read. Don't believe all the hype. Be careful. Okay, then you'll be safe. Anyway, that's it for this video. A little bit different than most, but if you liked it, hit the like button, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff, and let me know in the comments if you're up or down in the market, what you're doing now. If you're interested in looking at my business model and the one that I prefer, let me know in the comments or send me an email, and let me know too if you bought any NFTs and if you actually made some money, if you lost some money. Let's have a good discussion in the comments. All right. Have a great day, and we will talk to you soon.